Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. So it has been an interesting day in the market with Tesla. Let's say that, right? So in this video, I kind of want to do a market recap just to go back and see what can we learn, what happened today. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So again, we are looking at Tesla. We closed at 436 after coming off of this 479.38 high. That is interesting, right? So Tesla ran up pre-market. Let's say we went from that 468 up to the 479.38. The level that I had marked here was the 478.61. We broke through that slightly, only to reverse, right? We had some sellers that was taking that price right back to that area. Again, this is the 30-minute chart. Looks like it gave us a double top here and here. I like to look at the body of the candles. It just again tells me a story. I like to read, right? So here we are with the double top. Well, guess what? We are declining. The high of this candle here is 470.75 down to the 453.36. And what's interesting is we bounced off of this level that I have marked here, bounced off of that only to come back to this area here, right? So it looks as if, Tesla tried to come back up to recover just a little bit again, only to come back, price came back here. Sellers were there again to take it back to the downside. We came back to this 450, 430 area. We've been here a few times now. So what I like to see is at this point, the 5 and 50 is crossing. I look for that for my trades to confirm that, yeah, the downside is where I need to be. And we're making lower lows. I like to see that. I'm going to see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. Here we are now. So again, this is where we're making lower lows at this point. Our 5 and 50 has already crossed. Let me show you that. 5 and 50 has already crossed. We are making lower lows. But look at the places that, I kind of knew we could possibly have trouble at that 450.05 area. Price came down under that, but look where the body of that candle is, very, very close to that. This candle did the exact same thing here. We kind of knew we could possibly have trouble. Look, we broke through this area here down to the 445.02 where I had marked the low of this candle, 451.15. We bounced from there only to come back to the level that I have marked here at 447.29. So here we are back at this area again, and we are under that 200 EMA around that 447.25 area. So Tesla has seriously declined from that 479 area down to this 447.29 area. It brings us under our 200 EMA. So now we are seriously declining, right? So this candle here, we got rejected. Let me get my words right. We got rejected here at this 200 EMA only to, we're still selling down. We're still going down. Looks like we found some support right here at a level that I have marked, 442.29. Look, we were here. We broke through it slightly here, but look, we came back. We found support in this area. Guess what? That was another area of support for us, that 443.78. Look where the body of those candles are, kind of exactly where we knew we could possibly have trouble. I love to see that, y'all, and it's just simple support and resistance in my opinion, right? So again, looking at this 30-minute chart, we tried to go back and recover back to the upside only to get rejected. You see how close we got to a level that I had marked here at 447.28, the high of this candle, 446.78, and we had that 200 EMA right there. All of that is resistance for Tesla, and we had trouble in that area. What was interesting for Tesla is this 440.41 area. I knew from yesterday and previous days that that was a strong area of support, as with the 428.60. It's like I just remembered those two numbers, 440.41, 428.60. We had trouble in those areas for Tesla. Well, guess what? We tried to go back and recover. Y'all see how close we came to that line there. It is a resistance or rejection area for us, 440.435, only to come back down. And this candle here, the high of the candle is 443.04, low of this candle 435.57. So it shows that if you traded Tesla to the downside today, that was definitely definitely a really, really good profitable trade. And sometimes it's just waiting on the right entry and waiting on confirmation and making sure that you're on the right side of the trade. So let's go look at it from the 5-minute chart just to see if we can, what can we see from the 5-minute, right? So again, this is our 479 candle pre-market, which was interesting to me. Normally when I see Tesla run up like this pre-market, I look for a downside move. I look for a sell-off. I expect a downside move. And I still wait on confirmation to make sure that I have confirmation, right? So here we are. We got rejected here only to come back down under this level that I have marked of 469.82. We came back down under this level here, 465.20. Those are areas that I had marked. Well, guess what? Our 5 and 50 crossed, that MACD crossed, and I like to see that 5 and 50 crossing here. MACD crossed here. That is confirmation. 3 lower lows. So Tesla to the downside we go, right? So here we are. We've come down and found support at this 456.01 area. That was a support area for us. However, my charts automatically generate the first 15 minutes of the day. I call it the ORB, opening range breakout. That's the first 15 minutes again of the day. The red lines here and the green lines here. So that kind of gives me a daily support and resistance, right? So when we broke under this level here, I kind of knew we are in some trouble, or we definitely need to be careful. Well, it kept giving us double bottoms here. We moved up just a little bit only to get rejected. Came back down, moved down a little further, right? So we got a double bottom here, only to try to come back up. We got rejected only to come back down. Guess what? We are definitely making lower lows. 1, 2, 3. We are definitely making lower lows. It seems as if it bounced again right here only to try to come back to the upside. Let's see if we can get that. Let me see if I can bring that just a little. Here we are. So we bounced from here only to try to come back up, have some trouble. That's a Fibonacci retracement line here. We had some trouble here, got rejected, came back, made another lower low. So we are here low, 2 low, 3 low, 4 low, only to come back up to try to make its way back, because that was a nice decline, right? So many people would have just bought it off the bottom thinking it's going to run back to the upside, but just make sure that you have confirmation and always try to figure out, where are my trouble places? I say that often, right? So in my opinion, that locating your support and your resistance is very key to trading. So here we are, we're bouncing off of a level that we have marked only to come back up, find trouble and get rejected only to come back down, give us a lower low back at this 440.41 area. Y'all see that we came here and we stayed here for a while because, again, in my opinion, it was a strong area of support. So I'm going to go to the 1-hour chart because I want to show you how it was a support level on this day, which was 928, on this day 929, on this day 930, again on this day 10:1. This area has been that 440.41. That's why I remember it so well, because I knew that Tesla kept coming back to this area. And as you can see, again, looking at this 1-hour chart, we have been there a few times, right? So back to this 5-minute chart. Let me get it right. Yeah. So back to this 5-minute chart, that 440.41 is an area. Once we break that, that means, in my opinion, we have broken through a strong area of resist or support. In this case, we broke through a strong area of support. I'm trying to get it back to where we could definitely see those areas, which would have been here. So we broke through that area of support. Y'all, guess what? We went up, got rejected here, only to come back down. We're back to making lower lows. Look what the MACD is doing here. So back to the downside we go. So Tesla was a very, very nice trade today. Again, I'm going to say it this way. If you traded Tesla to the downside and puts were in order, because they gave so many signals and so many, let's just wait and see how it goes, right? And the hard thing to me sometimes is thinking that because we ran up to that 479 and because we're selling off, we could very well run back up to that 479. But if you don't have confirmation as to, us moving in that direction, that's why I say often, y'all, trade what you see, trade what's before you, learn how to break it down so that you're making the right decisions, right? So again, I hope that this has been encouraging to you. Sometimes I just like to go back over the charts and see, what did I learn today? Where places that I should have, where did I miss it? Those type of things. I look at that throughout, especially with Tesla. But I hope that everyone had a very, very profitable day today. Very profitable day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.